الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له العلي العظيم، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد. From those matters that are necessary and vital for the purification of the soul, then verily, undoubtedly, it is in having good companionship and having good friends. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداوة والعشي يريدون وجهه. Allah Ta'ala, He says in His noble book, what translated means, and be patient, make yourself patient upon those who call upon their Lord in the morning and in the evening, and they want and they desire His face, the face of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala goes on to say, وَلَا تَعْدُوا عَيْنَاكَ عَنْهُمْ تُرِيدُ زِينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, and do not overlook them, do not avert your gaze from them, wanting the glitter of this world. وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا قَلْبَهُ عَنْ ذِكْرِنَا وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُ فُرُطًا. And do not obey those who we have made their hearts heedless about our remembrance, and those who follow their desires, and those who their affair, meaning their deeds, is that of loss. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala here in this ayah, He sends to us all a tremendous command to be patient with those who believe, to accompany those who believe and be in their company. قال إمام السعدي رحمة الله عليه في تفسيره, in commenting upon the aforementioned ayah, فيها أمر بصحبة الأخيار, that in this ayah there is a command to have good companionship, to be friends with good people. وَمُجَاهَدَةِ النَّفْسِ عَلَى صُحْبَتِهِمْ, and to fight one's soul, to struggle against one's soul, to be around those who are good people. نعم. وَمُخَالَطِهِمْ, and to mix with them. وَإِنْ كَانُوا فُقَرَاء, even if they are those who are poor, even if they are those who are poor within a particular society. فَإِنَّ فِي صُحْبَتِهِمْ مِنَ الْفَوَائِدِ مَا لَا يُحْصَى, because in accompanying them and having the likes of these individuals, these righteous ones, as your friends, then there will be fawaid, there will be benefits in that are innumerable. It is incumbent, ya ibad, especially for the younger ones, especially for those who are younger, especially for those who are in a situation due to a set of circumstances that they are in the schools of the kuffar. Make yourself patient and be with those who believe, those good, wholesome individuals, those individuals who are striving to be upright upon the deen of al-Islam. Make yourself patient and be with them. Because as the case is, this may not necessarily equate to them, these righteous ones, being from the popular kids. They may not be the popular kids. They may not be those who are looked up to inside of the school. They may not be those who have some type of influence and prestige according to their peers in school. But nevertheless, make yourself patient and be with those who are righteous. Avoid those who are evil. Avoid those who are corrupt and who call to corruption. But be with those kids who are good. Accompany those ones who are good. And likewise, for the adults, you may have individuals, colleagues upon the jobs and the like. Do not accompany and do not mix with, do not be with, do not take as a friend those who are evil, those who are given to corruption, those who are given to mischief and nonsense, because of sahib, because a companion, he will have an influence on you. Your friend, your companion, he will have an influence on you. He will draw you in to what he is doing. So be mindful of this. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, and the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, الرجل على دين خليله فانظر أحدكم من يخالل. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said that a man is on the religion of his friend. So look, every one of you, very closely, very carefully to the one who he has taken as a friend. Be very careful and look to the one he has taken as a friend. وقال أبو سليمان الخطابي رحمه الله تعالى قوله, his statement, meaning the statement of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, الرجل على دين خليله, that a man will be upon the religion of his friend. معناه لا يخالد. The takeaway from that is, do not take as a friend, do not take as a companion, إلا من رضيت دينه وأمانته, except for the one who you are pleased with his religion, you are pleased with his uprightness. Do not take as a friend. The takeaway from this hadith is what? Do not take as a friend except someone who you are pleased with their religion. You are pleased with their religion and you are pleased with their uprightness. نعم. فإنك إذا خللته قادك إلى دينه ومذهبه. Because if you take an individual as a friend, then that person, he will lead you to his religion, he will lead you to his way. Naam, as-sahib, sahib. The friend has influence upon his friend. وَلَا تُغَرِّرْ بِدِينِكَ وَلَا تُخَاطِرْ بِنَفْسِكَ فَتُخَالِلْ مَنْ لَيْسَ مَرْضِيًّا فِي دِينِهِ وَمَذْهَبِهِ. So thus do not subject yourself to loss. Do not expose yourself to danger. Do not expose yourself to harm. Do not jeopardize yourself by taking a friend, someone who you are not pleased with his religion, someone whose religion is not pleasing, and someone who his way, his methodology, the way that he is, the way that he goes about is not a way that is pleasing. Be careful. Be careful in taking as a friend those who their way of life is not pleasing. The manner that they behave is not pleasing, and so on and so forth. Because the consequences, then they are detrimental. A sahib, sahib. A friend will have an influence. He will have a bearing upon his friend. He will influence his friend. So if you're going to subject yourself to be influenced, then subject yourself to be influenced by those who are righteous. Those who will remind you to be righteous. Those who will remind you when you forget and who will aid you when you remember. Those who will call you to what is good and prohibit you from that which is bad. Don't subject yourself to danger and to loss by being around those who will call you to evil. Those who will invite you to corruption. Those who would invite you to those things that are of tremendous detriment to you and to your families and to society as a whole. Be careful and be mindful, because when an individual is trying to purify himself, when an individual is trying to purify his soul, then it only benefits and is only appropriate that they accompany those who are trying to do the same thing. As the saying it goes, الطيور على أشكالها تقع, that birds of a feather flock together. Those who are alike like each other. So if you are trying to purify yourself, then that which will aid you will be to be around others who are trying to purify themselves. Whereas it will be to your detriment. It will be counterproductive and counterintuitive that you're trying to purify yourself and then you befriend one who is trying to corrupt himself. It will be working at opposite odds. For every brick you put up, they will take it away. It will be against your common, or it will be against your interests as an individual. It will be against that which will benefit you. So be around those who will help you and to build yourself to a better self. And don't be around those who will seek to corrupt you and destroy you. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروا فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. الحمد لله على نعمة الإسلام والسنة. All praise and thanks belong to Allah for guiding us to Islam and for guiding us to the Sunnah. Our deen has in it guidance for us. Guidance on how to be, guidance in every aspect of our lives. Guidance of what will benefit us. Bila shak bila rayb, an individual generally is concerned about their reputation, and they should be. Naam, because the reputation of the Muslim is something that is noble. Naam, it is from those things that have to be protected. They have to be protected, just like a person's wealth, just like a person's life. Also a person's honor is that which is sought after to be protected and to be preserved and safeguarded. It is incumbent that we do not subject ourselves to demolishing our own reputations. From the ways that we demolish our reputations is by accompanying those who are evil. It's by being friends with those who are evil. Despite whatever face we may try to put on our own situation, despite whatever way we may try to front and whatever perception we may try to project and put forward, the reality is that none of that it tricks people who are wise. None of that will trick people who have sense. Why? Because they will look at those who you accompany and they will judge you based upon that. And this is from the way. This is from the way of the uqala. This is from the way of those who are wise. Because an individual is always going to put the best spin on things when it comes to themselves. An individual is always going to put forward the best face when it comes to them representing themselves. So in that situation, it doesn't behoove you to look at that which is being presented by that particular individual, but rather it behooves you to look at those who surround that individual, because that will give you the better picture. That will give you the overall picture of who this person really is. Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, اعتبروا الناس بأخدانهم فإن المرء لا يخادن إلا من يعجبه. He said, judge people by their friends. Judge people by their friends. You see, this modern society, they don't like that, right? Don't judge me. No, we're going to judge you. We're going to judge you according to the book and the sunnah. We're going to judge you according to what is good. We're going to judge you according to the haqq. If you come up short, if you come up wanting, then you have come up short, you have come up wanting, but now we're going to judge you. Judge the people by what? By their friends. Why? Because the individual, he will only befriend someone who he is amazed by him. An individual will only befriend someone who he likes, someone who he is inclined to his character, someone who he finds pleasing his character, and so on and so forth. And as we know, human beings, they don't always find pleasing that which is good. The evil ones, they find pleasure in that which is bad. Those who are corrupt, they find pleasure in corruption. So if you find an individual and they are pleased with corrupt people, then we know because that person is pleased with corruption, because that person is upon corruption. So therefore, we don't have to worry about sifting through the perception that they have presented. Why? Because his friends have exposed who he really is. So he can try to act like he's so good and he's so wholesome, but he's friends with a bunch of criminals. Why? Because he's a criminal. It benefits us to be around those who are good. In every situation with them is going to be a benefit, it has an upside to it. And it is detrimental to us to be around those who are evil, because every angle when it comes to being around those who are evil is that of detriment, is that of loss, is that of destruction and corruption. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, listen, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us a tremendous example as relates to accompanying those who are good and accompanying those who are evil. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Mathalu jalisu salih was-su' kahamil al-misk wa nafikh al-kir." He said that the similitude of the accompanying of good people and accompanying bad people is like the similitude of the merchant of oils and the blower and the bellows, the ironsmith, the one who blows in the bellows, right? He said, فَحَامِلُ الْمِسْكِ. So the one who is a merchant of oils, merchant of fine fragrances and scents, إِمَّا أَن يُحْذِيَكَ وَإِمَّا أَن تَبْتَاعَ مِنْهُ وَإِمَّا أَن تَجِدَ مِنْهُ رِيحًا طَيِّبًا. He said, as far as the one who is the merchant of oils, the merchant of fine perfumes, he said, it's either he will give you a gift. He will give you a gift, whether that be a sample size or a regular size or a big size. He may give you a gift, or you have the opportunity to purchase from him some of these fine and good smelling oils and scents. Or at the very least, you will find from him a good smell. You will find from him a good smell. If you go into the shops of the oil vendors, if you go into the shops of the perfume merchants and so on and so forth, you have an opportunity to benefit, because they will either give you a gift, put some oils on you, give you a sample, oh, smell this, taste that, or test this and the like, or you can buy from them something, or you will find from them a good smell. And if you sit there long enough, you will leave out and your clothes will smell good. Your clothes will smell good because you were just around that which is good. And this is the similitude of being around good people. Is always an upside to it. They will always benefit you. Either they will help you in doing that which is right, they will remind you, they will teach you something maybe you didn't know, or if you're going through a bad time, you're going through something, they will help you upon patience, give you good advice, so on and so forth. This is the type of person you want in your life. Someone who helps you, someone who enriches your life, someone who helps you better your situation, someone who is a benefit to you. Whereas the being around the bad people, nafikhul kir, being around the bad people is like being around the one who blows in the bellows, being around the ironsmith. إِمَّا أَن يُحْرِقَ ثِيَابَكَ. Because when you're with him, it's either he's going to burn your clothes. Why? Because he's beating on the iron. The sparks may come off of that and burn your clothes. Now your clothes get burnt up. You have a hole in your clothes now. وَإِمَّا أَن تَجِدَ رِيحًا خَبِيثًا. Or you will find from him a disgusting smell, because that's the industry that he's dealing with. He's beating on this and beating on that. The smoke is coming, and it's all of this black smoke and so on and so forth, filled with nasty smells and nasty aromas, filled with carcinogens and so on and so forth. These things that if you breathe them in, you inhale them, they will make you sick. This is the similitude of the bad companion, is that if you're with him, it's all bad, because either you're going to get yourself hurt, or you're going to find from him tremendously evil, nasty, despicable things. This is the similitude of being with those who are good and those who are evil. Now, when it comes to this, when one looks at it from the standpoint, which one do you want to be around? You want to be around those who are good, so that good rubs off on you. You don't want to be around those who are evil, and thus they corrupt you. وقال القاضي عياض رحمه الله تعالى في شرح لهذا الحديث, he mentioned, as relates to explaining and giving some commentary on this particular hadith, he said, فيه, and this is the takeaway is that what? فيه تجنب الخلطاء السوء ومجالسة الأشرار. He said, in it, then we see in the takeaway we have to stay away from mixing with those who are evil and sitting with the evil ones. We have to stay away from sitting with the evil ones. Naam. He says, وَأَهْلِ الْبِدْعِ, and from sitting and being around and mixing with the people of innovation. Because the people of innovation, they call you to that which is worse than sin. Naam. The people of innovation, they call you to that which is worse than sin. Istami'u. If you are around a drug dealer, is better for you than being around an innovator. Person, he says, whoa, why? That's a big statement. Why? Because bid'ah ahabbu li-iblis min al-ma'asiyah. Because innovation is more beloved to iblis than sin. Why? Because the person who does the sin, he knows the sin is wrong. He knows being around a drug dealer is wrong. He knows that this is not something that Allah is pleased with. But the innovator brings forth his innovation. Why do they bring forth the innovation? Do they bring forth innovation because they think that by way of the innovation they are doing that which is displeasing to Allah? No, they think that this innovation is something that is pleasing unto Allah. They think that this innovation draws them near unto Allah. So in that situation, will they make tawbah? No. Make tawbah from what in their mind? Because they're doing that which they believe is pleasing unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the reality is that what? Is that it does not draw them near unto Allah, but it makes them go far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, وَشَرُّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا, and the worst of all affairs are newly invented matters. The worst of all affairs is what? Is bid'ah. The worst of the affairs. So this is why being around them is more detrimental than being around what? The drug dealer or the sinner, this one, and so on and so forth. So if you're not going to be around the drug dealer, then no doubt you don't want to be around the innovator. If you're not going to be around the one who is smoking crack, then no doubt you don't want to be around the innovator. If you're not going to be around the one who is drinking beer, then no doubt you don't want to be around the innovator. Stay away from all of these types. وَالْمُغْتَابِينَ لِلنَّاسِ, and stay away from those who are backbiting the people. You go into their circles and their sittings and their gatherings is nothing but backbiting this one, slandering that one, speaking ill of this one. Stay away from these type of people. Now stay away from them. Beware of them and stay away from them. Don't think it's pleasurable being around them. Because like the old folk, they say that what? The dog that brings it takes it. What does that mean? That means the one who backbites others to you is going to backbite you to others. The one who talk bad about other people behind their back, he gonna talk bad about you behind your back. The dog that brings it takes it. You don't want to be around the like of that. You don't want to be around a bunch of dogs carrying and taking bones. No way. The Imam, he goes on and he mentions, he says, لأن جميع هؤلاء ينفر أثرهم في جليسهم. He said, because all of these ones, these evil ones that Bruce were aforementioned, he said they will have an effect upon those who sit with them. They will have an effect upon those who sit with them. They will rub off on them. والحد على مجالسة أهل الخير وتلقي العلم والأدب والحسن الهدى والأخلاق والحميدة. He said, and also we find in his hadith an encouragement to sit with the people who are good, so that you may learn from them knowledge. You may learn from them manners. Naam. You learn. When you're around the good people, you learn from them ilm. You're going to learn something new from them. Or you're going to learn from them good character. Good character. Naam. This is the reality. when you see how they speak to people, when you see how they de-escalate a situation, so on and so forth, when you see how they project and put forth forbearance upon those who act ignorantly towards them, and so on and so forth, you learn from that an example of what to do in that particular situation. You learn from them how to be good to your parents, how to talk righteously to your parents, how to be honest, and so on and so forth. They rub off on you what the good people, and this is the kind of rubbing off you want. This is the type of influence you want, the good influence. You learn from them the good character, the good guidance, the good way, and so on and so forth, and you learn from them characteristics, mannerisms that are praiseworthy, from being truthful, from lowering the gaze, from avoiding sin and transgression and corruption, so on and so forth. It is incumbent, it is a must, ya ibadallah, that we acclimate ourselves to be around those who are good, and that we stay away from those who are evil. Sheikh Abdul Razak bin Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Al-Abbad Al-Badr rahimahumullah ta'ala, he mentions, he says, because being around those people who are evil, he says, yani the evil people, julasa is-su' wal-fasad, the people of corruption, the people of evil, and so on and so forth, فَإِنَّهُمْ أَخْطَرُوا عَلَيْكَ min jarab. He said, because being around them is more dangerous to you than being around people that got scabies, being around people that have a skin disease that is infectious. You see, a person has a skin disease that is infectious. You don't want to be around him. You don't want to rub your arm on his arm. You don't want his elbow to touch you. Why? Because you don't want to get that disease. You don't want to get that skin thing. If a person has lice, you don't want to be around him because you don't want to get lice. If a person has any type of infectious disease, you don't want to rub elbows with him. A person got leprosy, you don't want to rub elbows with him. Why? Because you don't want to catch leprosy. But catching leprosy, scabies, ringworms, whatever the case may be, lice, whatever the case may be, is better for you than to catch the disease of that which will corrupt the heart, that which will destroy the heart, that which will pollute the heart, that which will make the heart sick and cause disease to the heart. That's worse. So the same way you want to look out for your skin, the same way you want to safeguard your skin from catching scabies or ringworms or leprosy, the same way you want to safeguard your hair from catching lice and all of this type of stuff, then even more so safeguard and protect your heart from the evil and awful influences of evil people. هذا فأقيموا الصلاة.